Hello! It's been a little while since I uploaded a video, so I figured I'd give you an update. I haven't uploaded for a little while for a few reasons. I felt like I accomplished my initial goals, and I had to take a step back to take care of a few other things. I also felt like I lost some inspiration and needed some time away to regroup and think about what I wanted to accomplish with this project. My interest in measuring shifters and derailleurs was rekindled when Ubiquity from the Pathless Pedal Discord reached out to me, asking if I wanted to measure the Campagnolo Ekar shifter and derailleur he had just bought. It made me remember why I started doing this in the first place, and reminded me of how important this project is to both myself and to others. So let's remember why I'm trying to measure shifters and derailleurs. My main reason for doing this is that I remember how much uncertainty I felt when trying to get lower gearing on my straggler. I knew it might be possible, but I wanted more certainty before I went ahead and bought the parts. I didn't want the disappointment from buying parts and then finding out that they didn't work together. Thankfully, my preferred combo worked together, and it served me well for more than 1,000 miles. However, so much information about shifter cable pulls and derailleur pull ratios on the internet is just plain bad, and the information that was available wasn't giving me good guidance about whether my combo would work. I'd like to help guide people towards combos that work, or could potentially work, and share that information more broadly. I have a second reason for measuring shifters and derailleurs. I'm not actually a mechanical engineer. I'm a software developer, and even though I've been gainfully employed for 15 years in that profession, I feel guilty about never producing a website or application of my own that I could show to potential employers to prove that I know what I'm doing. It's fairly common for software developers to create an application to show off their skills, but I was really never very motivated to write the millionth to-do application or clone of a WordPress blog application that nobody will ever use. For me, measuring shifters and derailleurs gives me a data set that's unique to me, with unique requirements. I feel motivated to analyze and explain this data in the best way that I can, and I feel that this data set of shifter cable pulls and derailleur pull ratios is important to at least a small part of the cycling community. That makes me feel like I'm doing something important. If you've seen my videos before, then you know that I've already analyzed the data I'd recorded. If you're on the Pathless Pedal Discord as well, you may also know that I actually created a website to showcase this data a few months ago. So didn't I achieve my goal of creating an application already? Well, of course, the answer is the first version really wasn't good enough for me. Using Google Sheets to analyze the data was kind of tedious and error-prone, and the website didn't explain the compatibility very well, and it didn't really help you find potential combos very easily. So toward my goal of analyzing the data, I created an open source project on GitHub. In this repository, I added all the raw data, I created a bunch of Python scripts to analyze the data, and I stored the final end products of that analysis. I want the cable pull and pull ratio information I calculated to be available for everyone as long as it is useful. I also want to be completely transparent about how I analyze the data and come up with these cable pulls, pull ratios, and combinations of shifters and derailleurs. This is the best I can do for the community. But the data by itself is not very useful. The analysis project has way too much information in a raw form, and I would never expect anyone to use that information by itself. This is where the website comes into play. When you first visit drivetrainbuilder.com, you're greeted by two big lists. A list of the lowest geared combinations that you can get with drop bar shifters, and a list of the widest range you can get with drop bar shifters. This is really what people want to know. Manufacturers have always offered drop bar group sets with high gearing and offered flat bar group sets with low gearing, but only recently have they started to offer drop bar group sets with low gearing. Listing these combinations is helpful, but how can you trust these suggestions? For me, I'm starting to list reviews for each combination on the website for each combo. I don't have a lot of reviews yet, and I encourage you to email me links to reviews for each combination, or make some yourself. However, most of these combos are not reviewed, and you will have to evaluate for yourself whether you should try a combo. Each combo page has multiple helpful diagrams and graphs to show you why this combo makes sense. I don't expect you to take my word that each combo has potential. I want you to look at the diagrams and graphs to see for yourself. The first diagram on a combo page helps you compare the average shift to the cog pitch. You can see for yourself how far the jockey wheel moves with each shift, and you can easily see how close it is to the cog spacing. These numbers have to be pretty close to work, so I show you a range bracket to demonstrate that the combo is in this range. This diagram shows you something that's impossible to see in real life, and I think it'll help give you confidence to try the combo. The second diagram shows you how misaligned the jockey is to the cog in the worst case scenario. You see the calculated angle that the chain will have to follow to span from jockey to cog, and you can compare this to the maximum angle for compatibility. Again, this is basically impossible to see in real life, and I think this diagram will help you understand how close each combo is. These two charts are the main way for me to share compatibility information with you. They very quickly and simply tell you all the information you need to know about each combination, and you can make an informed decision about whether a combo makes sense to try. The changes to the website have made information easier to understand, but they weren't the only reasons I wanted to rewrite the website. I rebuilt the site as a collection of automatically generated static web pages, which have multiple advantages over the dynamic JavaScript and React page I had before. The biggest advantage is search engine optimization. Static web pages are created ahead of time and are easy for search engines to find. I want people to easily find this information, so making it easy to crawl is a must. Static web pages have a number of other advantages. They're cheap to host, they load fast, generating charts and graphs is relatively expensive and hard to get perfect, so generating them once for everyone lets me generate them without relying on your web browser. I have kept some dynamic code on the site to power the search box, but I think it's dynamic code that adds a lot of value. Of course, the site isn't perfect, and there are lots of things for me to improve. I need to add more components, of course. I will be measuring more components soon. But more than that, I have a lot of component photos that I can add to the site. I'd also like to improve the search function, and I'd like to do some better analysis when there are more shifts available than there are cogs. There are also some user interface tweaks that I need to make, like improving the way I list and name each combo. Thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate all the positive comments on my videos. I hope to add more videos about shifter and derailleur measurements and compatibility soon.